Welcome
Um,
to Shade and the City. I'm your girl Treese.
it's Nels.
And today, y'all, we are getting into our recap of The Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 10, episode 5, Sunshine and Sex. Okay. So if you have not already, please go ahead and hit that like button for me.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's jump right into this recap because I heard it was pretty good. I heard it was pretty good. So let's get into it and let's get shady.
Last drip on the skyline pen. Shade in the city, true hits like a banger. I said it, I meant it, no need for disclaimers. Haters right away, but they just false claimers. Concrete beats are heavy like cinder. Looking for one, but the streets feel winter. No filters, no edits, I'm raw with my splinters. My life a movie, they watching the trailers. Said it, I'm not gonna hold you. Shade in the city, the life and the mold. You like and subscribe if you feeling the vibe. This is my word, I just let you inside. Said it, the city, I'm not gonna hold you. Shade in the city, my words gon' console you. Like and subscribe if you feeling the vibe.
So we pick up where we left off with the girls at dinner. Ashley reveals that she heard Stacey was trying to date Chris Samuels and said, even Chris confirmed it. And Stacey said, girl, we good friends. We got a lot of friends in common. He's a great father. I think he's an outstanding man. And so Stacey shuts Ashley down and said, look, I'm back with my husband, boo-boo. And so Wendy was like, see, look at Ashley divert the plans.
If I was trying to be in these streets, it don't matter now because I'm not no more.
Right. Okay. And so Wendy was like, we trying to get to the bottom of what's going on with Giselle, and Ashley over here playing Captain Save-A-Ho. And so then they asked her, well, have you met Monique? And Stacey was like, no. And do I really need to? I mean, she didn't say that, but still. And so basically she was like, y'all ladies just don't want to accept who I am.
They don't know who you are. You lie about everything.
I think she's just a very fun-loving, easygoing, lighthearted,
That
and
doesn't mean you have to be a liar.
doesn't take herself too seriously.
You can be all that without being a liar.
Are they lies or are they fibs?
They're the same thing.
Mia was out here lying. Mia was lying. Okay. But
so do Stacey.
I think she tells fibs. So
fibs is just a word that little kids use for lies. It literally means the same thing.
Don't do that. So then the ladies come back from dinner. They decide to celebrate Wendy's birthday. They decide they're going to play a game. And Kiana's like, I ain't got it to do. I'm going to bed. Because, of course, she walk around with her bad attitude and energy. She tells Ashley that, she needs to decompress.
I wasn't even there. But didn't the room seem lighter once she left?
Oh, my God.
I wasn't even there.
I felt lighter.
Like, once she left.
Right.
The room just got lighter.
So then, they play Truth or Drink, and Ashley asks Wendy if she's ever been attracted to a woman, and Wendy brings up, well, y'all, that was a stripper at Stadium, and I said, I know about them Stadium strippers. Boy, R.I.P. Stadium. Those were some days. Those were some good old days and some nights I barely remember, if I remember. Tia says that, she has a girl crush on Rachel Maddow. And I said, okay.
I'm glad they showed who she was, because I was like,
I know who she is, but so Ashley asked Jazzy if she thinks Darius is still cheating, and Jazzy admits that he may have had, his little past transgressions, but she feels like he's good now. And Ashley was like, in her confessional, was like, whatever you want to do, girl. And I was like, Ashley, we need to worry about what.
I'm so glad I missed that because what? Ashley of all people.
Right. Ashley of all people. That's why I was like,
you couldn't even have your friends' husbands around your man. They wasn't even safe.
It ain't safe. It ain't safe.
Stop it.
Okay.
Stop it. You couldn't even let your man go out for a guy's night without worrying.
So then Wendy asked Angel, she said, if you could pick anybody to unalive, who would it be? And so Angel said, well, right now at this moment, it would be Giselle because I was nice to her.
No. I love when Giselle was like, well, that's not like a yes or a drink question or something like that. She was like, no, I'll answer.
Right.
And said it with no smile. No, it would be Giselle.
Okay.
Because I was nice to you. I said, I'm so loving that scene.
I love to hear her Baltimore accent come out.
That Baltimore accent definitely came out. I said, and so did the Pisces. I said, this is the Pisces energy I know of.
And that's why I said, I know she got it in her.
I was loving it.
but she letting Kiana mess it up for her. And so basically she was like, I was nice and you called my ass a catfish. So Giselle said, look, I'm just happy to realize this girl got a pulse and can have some fun. And Wendy mentions how Angel is completely different when Kiana's not around. She is so cool. And so then Giselle does what she normally does and she kicks the ladies out because she old and she ready to go to bed. I feel like Giselle does that every trip.
And because she a Virgo and she like her own space.
And that's why I'd be like, why do y'all keep doing the girls' nights at Giselle's place? Like it's always in Giselle's room.
Well,
It's
I
either
think she had
Kim
the big.
or
I think
Giselle.
Giselle had the biggest suite. I know on
Oh,
this. I think on this trip she had the biggest suite.
but I feel like that's every year. It's always Giselle or Karen with the biggest rooms, and they want to stick around and hang out, and they be like, "Nah, bitches, we old. We need our beauty rest."
Yeah, because I mean we fun, but we don't want to be fun for too long.
Right? They like, we got to get up the next day and film. I ain't trying to have bags under my eyes. And so yeah, and so even Giselle and Angel in the night with the hug, and I was like, okay, so things seem to be going well, even though I know they won't stay like that.
I really liked it. I really liked that scene.
Yeah, no, and that's why I said I knew Angel had it in her, and I just wish we could stay here because if not, she's not going to be on the show next season, and I say that respectfully.
Well, Kiana and Angel are discussing, their disappointment with Giselle. And Giselle just magically, appears. Hi, cheers. Okay. She went over to go check on him. And Kiana let her know as soon as she got in there. And I actually appreciated that. Yeah, we were in here discussing you, and not in the best way. So she went out, let them have their little moment. Angel went to go grab some paper towel because she was actually in tears. So Giselle
Yes,
is
I can appreciate you saying, yeah, you talk shit. Yeah.
You know what?
I said, I guess I can appreciate her admitting, yeah, I talk shit.
Mm-hmm.
She should probably do the same.
Well, no. The thing is, I wouldn't be upset that she was talking mess. Like you sitting in here with your best friend discussing what happened last night. Like,
yeah, no. I'm saying I would appreciate if she would just do that with Wendy, so we could see it's her acting like that's not the case.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Well, that wasn't on camera.
Yeah, so, I know. I'm just saying.
So we won't. Wendy wouldn't find out about that. This is something Giselle would find out about, so she felt the need to admit it.
That would make more sense. Yeah. Otherwise, she just talks.
Yeah. So Angel was in tears, and Giselle, is in shock. Like, oh my God, like. I didn't realize, I hurt you so bad. So she apologized for hurting her. And Angel said that she looked at her like a big sister. I mean, she felt like she, thought that she would understand since they both had kids. And a part of her appearance, a part of her currency was her appearance. Because I guess she used to work the red carpet. And she felt like really Giselle was just doing it to be a mean girl. And Giselle was like, girl, I get it. I was in your shoes before when I had kids. And I was just asking questions because you are a beautiful woman, but it's not the same woman I've seen on social media.
Now, I will say this. I don't know if it was the Virgo Pisces connection that she felt that gave her an older sister vibe because I don't think she's been here long enough. She hasn't known Giselle long enough to be like, I looked at you as a big sister. So that's why I said, I don't know if it's the Virgo Pisces connection that she just felt something safe with her or whatever. But I don't think Giselle has done anything or went out of her way to make her feel like that since she's been here.
She even told her little event was boring. Like, girl, no, we didn't have fun.
And unfortunately, I hate to say it, but then it goes back to what you were saying the other day where unfortunately some Pisces, they just cling on to people and be calling them friends.
And everybody their best friend.
I don't know people like that. I mean, I'm not like that.
I do. I'm into the man in the mirror.
Don't do it. But one thing I will say, and I told Nels this, I can appreciate that she stood 10 toes down, and she said, "I still said what I said. It still don't look like."
I'm not gonna lie. I would not expect her to backtrack. Like if that is genuinely, like she wasn't just talking to her ass, and she like that's genuinely how she felt. Like. And she is a beautiful girl. Angel is a beautiful girl, whether she is bigger or whether she's smaller. But we even said, now I've seen other pictures where she was smaller and it did look like her. You can see that it looks like her. But the picture that they showed to me, it's unrecognizable. I wouldn't have thought that it was her. She apologized, and Angel appreciated. She felt like it was kind of surface level. I think she felt like it was surface level because Giselle didn't backtrack. Because I honestly felt like Giselle's apology was genuine, but that
Right.
is genuinely also how she felt, and she wasn't about to change it. Um, and she refused her hug, and in the confessional, like I said, she said, "Look, my husband likes it, and I got one." Boom. Okay. So then we see the ladies meeting up for breakfast. And Giselle kind of pulls Kiana to the side and was like, "Girl, Kay was in there crying. And, I did apologize to her, but it was just a lot. It was a lot going on." And, Kay is like, "Well, she was upset, like by the things you said." Then Kay wanted to talk to Ashley separately and tell her, yesterday she really wasn't feeling the ladies. And, she over there just talking mess about Wendy. Did you understand why she pulled Ashley to the side for this conversation?
I didn't.
I thought she was going down
No,
the road.
actually, Ashley pulled her. It wasn't Kiana. It was Ashley. Ashley was like, "Can I talk to Kiana for a second?" And then they were like, "Cool,
But then
whatever."
it was Tiana doing all the talking.
Right. But I think it's because Ashley was like, "Are you okay?" Like she opened up the door, and that's when Kiana
Okay. And
came.
see, I thought Kiana was going down the road when she was, I think she said something about like low blow or something like that. I thought she was going down the road of Ashley defending her, but she wasn't. So then I was lost. Well, anyways, Wendy is expressing to the other ladies that, Kay is really showing that she's never been a true friend to her. Um, and then Angel comes to join Kay and Ashley and confirms that yes, Giselle did apologize. I'm leaving right there because I ain't gonna tell y'all I ain't feel like it was genuine. But Bobby was ready to hop on a flight. Okay, and we see Bobby throwing all types of shade, talking about we can go back to her old pictures or her 60-year-old ass. And I listen, I ain't gonna lie, every picture I seen of Giselle back in the day was beautiful. So I don't know what he's talking about. I
She
don't
might
know
not
what
could dress. She might not could dress, but that was always cute.
the face card never declined.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, she's just confused after last night. She felt like I guess the ladies were bonding, you know, Angel took up for herself. So she's like, I don't understand how we haven't moved on from last night. Like, what is going on? And Wendy said basically it's not their job to coddle these bitches. Okay. And said that it's giving the Sad Sisters duo.
And like I told Nels, even though I love my girl Wendy now, I need Wendy to think back to about 2 years ago when it was her and Candace on the Sad Sisters duo, and really think about how she felt. I'm not saying you gotta coddle them, but don't be too quick because you.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, it's
they
only
were
been about 2 good years that Giselle will actually have a conversation with you.
well, she was going through some things, but she also wasn't coddled.
She wasn't.
She wasn't coddled. So I mean, she did her stint, but she also had to get through it. She nobody came to her defense, nobody coddled her. So
All right, so we see the ladies go out with their tour guide Kenny. They are going to the Alexander Hamilton house, and learn a little bit of history about the island. Kenny sings them a song on the way there, which I thought was beautiful.
I want to go just to be in a car ride with Kenny.
Okay, he
He
could be
did
my
an
tour guide
amazing job.
anytime. So Wendy says that when she hears his voice, that's who she wants to hear singing Roberta Flack, not Ashley. And I said I agree with you on that. So then they're walking around the house learning the history of Alexander Hamilton and how he passed away. And what was supposed to be a friendly duel, which I didn't think I knew. So this was information to me. And Wendy comments about, how people, you see people really be pretending to be your friend, but they can really hate you. And so Kiana
Smile in your face.
all the time trying to take your place, backstab, backstab. So Kiana said, "You know what? Wendy needs to stop being passive aggressive and speak on her to shut up." Okay. So then we jump to Tia, who's like, "Oh, I just want to make sure Angel is good and see how she's feeling." Because she said, even though I didn't say nothing, I wouldn't have addressed the situation the same way Giselle had, and I would have pulled her to the side. So Angel tells Jazzy,
Honestly, I don't. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even really think it had to be addressed.
right?
I mean, like
It it's just one of those things they wanted to do. Again, it's I mean, and like you said, we're not going like you said about Wendy said, it's almost like a hazing when you come into this group
Mhm,
and you're
mhm.
gonna have to go through something.
Yeah,
And either you got a thick skin, and I ain't gonna hold you. That's why I like Stacy. She has a very thick skin. She don't let them girls get to her no matter what they
he
do to her.
said, "Listen, I still owe TJ. Okay, I'm
Okay.
gonna come get these checks."
That part. So then Angel was talking to Jazzy about how I'm not just an OG wag, you know, because of how many years Bobby has been in the league. It's how I treat the other, younger women. And I was like, Angel, you're losing me. As soon as it's like we really have like a love-hate relationship right now. Because every time you have me, then you just something comes up your mouth or we catch you in a lie, and it's not looking real good right now, sis. Okay. So Jazzy brings up how, yeah, girl, but you was real cool last night. And then as soon as you got around Kiarna, your energy came back totally different. So, and what's so crazy is for Angel to be so spiritually in tune. And so, how can she not notice that the energy is off when she's around Kiana?
She don't care because that's her best.
So Angel claims, I was just annoyed last night. And so Jazzy was like, you was annoyed when you was bringing up high fives and we was, having a good old time. Oh, okay. And then they actually go back, and I love Bravo for rolling the beautiful bean footage. And we see her go back to her room with Kay, which I don't know, the sad girl society over there.
I think she walked in with a smile, didn't she?
Walked in with a smile, was upbeat, and then she saw Kay sitting there looking pitiful. And then the whole conversation, and she completely switches up. And I was like, yeah, that's weird. That's weird. And I can't stand people who have up energy and they mess it up for everybody else.
Well, maybe she'll, people when they see themselves on the screen start to realize different things. Maybe once she sees it, she'll realize like, damn, I was in a good mood, and
No,
once
right.
I got around Kay, like
That's
it
true.
just
Sometimes if you're not self-aware. So Wendy and Stacy and Jazzy have made a name for their villa, and they're calling it the Curly Girl Collective, which I thought
I
was
thought
really
that was really cute. I was not impressed by
of course,
Ashley.
Ashley got to put something provocative, talking about her and Giselle's place is the Pussy Pink Palace. However, she said that it's the most fun, even though she's always at the other lady's house, because we know Giselle go to sleep early and Ashley can't make no noise. That's what that means. So
It's given the pink.
right. So Wendy starts to go back on in on Giselle and her dating life. And so Ashley claims, and how Ashley basically blocked and was playing Captain Save-A-Ho. And so she was like, I was defending Giselle because Stacy was pointing the finger at her when Stacy be lying. And I said, well, that's one thing that Stacy be doing. But she be fibbing. She don't be lying, she be fibbing.
Same thing.
I feel like a fib is like a white lie. A lie is like a lie. You know what I'm saying?
Um, Putting a whole fake boyfriend on a TV show is not really a white lie.
Lie.
We left off with, Giselle and Stacy going back and forth about, who's a liar. She tried calling Giselle out for lying, and Stacy told her, "Look, you lied about Chris Samuels." Wendy said, "What we're not about to do is get off track again. Okay, I'm going to take over this investigation because I want to know all about Sean." Okay, so she said, "No, Giselle, we got some questions. All right, what is the deal?" And Giselle said, when her daddy passed, he wanted her to take, a guy serious and find a man that fits a comfortable shoe. So Wendy asked, is Sean that comfortable shoe? And she said he's comfortable.
Comfortable. Right.
But she refused to confirm whether they had sex or whether he met her daughters. But in the confessional, she did say that he did meet Grace, and she approves. Then Wendy said, Giselle protects her heart, and after getting to know her and being her friend, she is happy for her. Um, and Giselle thought it was nice that Wendy cares about her happiness, and so maybe maybe they are friends.
Mm.
Then out of nowhere, Angel lets the ladies know that her man sent her a cool 5K to do a little shopping at the market, and Giselle just feels like this girl is always talking about her man and what
Her
he
man,
do.
her man, her man.
And she like, girl, what you do? because
Right.
we do our own thing. That's why we bitches. Okay. So I guess Giselle was tired of hearing about Angel and her man, so she asked Tia about her husband. So she told a story about how they met, and she said that she was in the store, putting on a jacket. She heard this American voice tell her, "It looks nice on you," and it was kind of over after that. Okay, she said
That was
that it was a problem, and it's still a problem with her family that she didn't marry a Nigerian. And she said she was ignorant to the fact that there was cultural differences between her and her husband, and she knows damn well if she took her kids back home, they're gonna definitely feel like her kids are Americanized.
okay. And be like, just leave them over here for a little bit.
Exactly. They're gonna be screaming to come back home. So then they went to go get on a party bus to head to the market. Of course, there's a strip pole because Giselle said they got to be a strip pole everywhere. All right,
Because they
they
celebrate Jazzy getting married.
they gonna be sluts. They gonna be tramps. Okay, for this bachelorette party, and that's what it's doing. Okay, so then they get to the market to go shopping, and Wendy is like, "What the hell is Angel gonna spend 5K on in the damn flea market? These shirts is $12.35.
That took me out. That took me out. I ain't
You
even
gonna
gonna
buy
hold
some for the
you.
homeless too." Okay. But then Wendy had to go sit down, because she said there was a bug in the house and she ain't feeling good and she don't like it.
Mm. And they trying to party too. That is the worst.
Oh, child.
We know Wendy is starting to feel under the weather, and so she asked Jazzy to, whatever I was buying in the store, can you grab it for me, girl? I'll cash app you. You know what I'm saying? And so then she admits that, damn, I think I got the flu for real. Okay. So we see Angel talking about how she was sexting Bobby and so how they could get it on when they get home. And he was like, that's gonna make another baby. And so Stacey has this bright idea. Well, let me text Timo. And so did she text him sext or
She texted him sex.
okay. And so he texts her back and was like, "You want sex?" And so
Or he said, "You want sex? Are you having sex?" Like,
right.
what does
And
this
so
mean?
Stacey texts him back, "Sex with me." In this real awkward,
And
unsexy
she really did look scared.
right. And so Timu texts her back and tells her, "I think you have the wrong number."
That was hilarious.
I said, "Y'all are made for each other." So Ashley said Stacey is in a relationship by herself. Okay. And so Stacey claims that, he's just joking and he's German and, it's cultural differences and, their sense of humor is a little bit different than ours. And so Giselle is outside checking on Wendy. She said, take her to the bus and sit in the AC. And I was like, I wouldn't want her sitting in the air that's circulating around me. And I got to ride in it back to the place where I'm at.
She
So
been around him all that whole time anyway.
well, that's true. So Ashley runs over to tell Giselle what happened when Stacey confronts them about talking about her. And Stacey said what she's learned from her divorce is that she needs to optimize the time with her husband, which apparently I guess she wasn't doing even when he was home, because apparently he travels. So then the ladies go to learn to play the steel drums, and Wendy brings her sick ass up there with the rest of them. And I just thought that was a really poor taste. Because at this point, you're sick, you feel sick.
Guess what? She said, and I'm on a trip and I ain't missing nothing.
Yeah, you would have had to put a mask on for me or something. That's just real irresponsible.
Mhm.
So then when they get back to the villas, Wendy's in bed and Giselle and Stacey bring her, pretty much a little care package. It was cute. And of course, Giselle was like, I gotta check on this. My trip is my guest. And then they do a flashback to Kiana when she was sick and how Wendy didn't pay her no mind for real. So then all the ladies go out to dinner and they keep talking about how they smell weed and barbecue, but it looks like a cute little spot. They meet the owner, Mr. Sunshine, who starts them out with a killer bee, which apparently is they drink. Okay. I would be scared to try
Well, I
this.
just said it's giving killer wasp.
Right. And yeah, the only time I've ever been stung by something was a wasp. And I still remember to this day, I definitely don't want that in my throat. So
Which one is it a hornet or a wasp that's worse?
I think a hornet is worse, but wasps ain't no better.
Um,
I think hornets are worse because they're just fatter, they're bigger, but a
mhm.
wasp has that. See, I don't know. I can't because a wasp has that little point on them. They literally for the point that when they it's over.
You have to go you're supposed to go to the doctor for both of them though, right?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Or if you have country family like me, they say, girl, just sit down, put some ice on it and work it out.
Maybe that's why.
Hence why whenever I see a bee, I run like hell now. People like, just be still. That. Okay. So anyway, sorry, that was a sidebar. So then Angel asked the ladies, well, I just want to make sure that I'm not gonna be on the menu again tonight. And I was like, well, if that's how you starting things off, what you think gonna happen?
That's exactly what I thought. I was like,
when you come in with that energy, but okay, girl. And
giving,
look, and don't be sitting around crying. Talk about,
sad.
oh, they jumped on me, they bullied me. Don't be playing the victim.
It's sad because it's given it happened because Kiana's there.
Right. You know, Angel was like, are y'all coming for me? And Giselle said, well, you know what? The night is young. So she mentions to Kay how Wendy was bothered by her not being there to celebrate her birthday. And Kay blames it on, being tired. And Ashley brings up how, well, no, it was good to have Angel there, but then they're all confused because Angel seemed to have a good time with them that night, but her attitude changed in the morning, which we talked about. And so Angel said it was cool, but she still felt away from the dinner and then she slept on it. So then Tia brings up the filters comment and Jazzy tells her she filters her pictures too much as well, respectfully. Okay. And Tia was like, okay, I'll receive that. I'll receive that. So then.
And then she was like, I do filter. She's like, yeah, but a lot. And I was just like, I think she got it.
Okay, right. So Kay thanks Giselle for telling her how Wendy felt because Wendy acts so nonchalant, but calls out Jazzy for bringing up something she said about Wendy when they're in a fractured space. And so Jazzy brings up how Kay shared intimate conversations that she had with her, obviously at the little Preakness situation about her and her mans. And she wants her to take accountability for what she said. And so all the ladies are starting to be like, okay, but what did you say, Kiana? And she's like, I don't know what I supposedly said. So Jazzy starts going on about how Kay said her man had 2 children on her, which is a lie. There's only one. Well, that's what she wants us to believe. And Kay said she liked Jazzy, but she heard from Jacqueline that she said she was a snake. And so then Jazzy does offer her apology for how she reacted to what she did to her or what she said to her. And Kiana was like, thank you. But you see, Kiana didn't really offer no apologies. And so Kiana is still like, well, what did I say? And Jazzy's like, do you really want that?
And that's why she said, I can't give an apology for what I don't know.
Right. And then I was so mad.
And she wanted to put it on the table. So Jazzy should have put it on the table.
Right. Let's put it on the floor. And then I was mad because we did all this only to find out that the big secret is that Kiana said not to trust Wendy. Are you serious?
And you know where I think even if she was cool with Wendy, you know where I think that might have came from?
Where?
The Grand Dame.
Yeah, because she was very close. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. I can see that because that is true because her and Karen are very close. That's a very good point. Look at you now, connecting the dots. But yeah, y'all, that was this episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. Real Housewives of Potomac. Y'all make sure, if you haven't already, that y'all go ahead and hit that like button.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure that you guys subscribe.
And you hit the notification bell.
Make sure that you're following us on all the platforms. That's the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, the IG, the BlueSky, and the Lemonade. And we will catch y'all next week for another round of this vacation. And hopefully it'll be the end of vacation at this point. Because I'm tired of hearing about Angel wanting to go back to her husband and not. We could have done this back in Potomac. Okay. But yeah, y'all, we'll catch you next week. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
Good night.